with kind of a leveling off in 2011, and I think some of that reflects the fact that enrollment kind of stabilized. Some campuses, particularly public institutions, have capped enrollment because of budget cuts, and so we're seeing some basic stabilization back to 2009 levels. But overall, it's been about a 5% increase in density, that is the number of users per 100,000 square feet, since 2007 in the overall database. One of the things we wanted to take a look at is there differences in the density factor over time between public and private institutions. You can see from this slide, private institutions had increasing density, but are still relatively low, down at 350 per 100,000, or 350 students, faculty, and staff per 100,000 square feet. It's dropped off a little bit in 2011, back to, again, 2007-8 levels. When we look at the public universities, same trend, except for much higher and much sharper increases. The public university trends have gone from about 460, 470 students per every 100,000 square feet to well over 500 students, faculty, and staff for every 500,000 square feet. And while it dropped back a little bit in 2011, it's still higher than it was in 2009. So enrollment stabilization is one factor that we're going to continue to monitor. It's important, and I think it depends a lot on where you live in the country, because this chart, which we took from the United States Department of Education and created data and created a chart, shows what's the percentage change in high school graduates from 2006 to 2019. When we take a look at this by region, we see quite a few differences, and particularly Northeast sticking out as actually losing high school graduates. This is really change in population, and I think assumes sort of a stable high school graduation rate. But you can see some of the states, like Rhode Island and Vermont, Maine, New York, even some of the Midwest states, Michigan, other Northeast states, New Hampshire, Maryland, Massachusetts, Connecticut, all in there in terms of losing student population over the next 10 years or so. This won't turn around until 2019 for most of these states, and so we're in sort of a baby bust in that Northeast region and not seeing that increase. At the same time, the South, you're in the South or you're in the West, expect to see significant increases, particularly if you're in places like Georgia, and Texas, and North Carolina, where that student population is really jumping up, rising quickly, and going on into double-digit increases. Midwest, just about stable. You're not going to see a big increase or decrease in the states there. Pretty level in terms of the high school graduates. So again, as we look at the density factor on college campuses versus, so space versus the number of students coming in, we would expect to see Northeast and Midwest pretty stable, not increasing space, enrollment being about the same unless they start drawing a lot more students from outside of their region. And in the South and the West, we would expect to see campus density either increase or campus space, new space increase. So this is something to monitor as we look at different parts of the country.